This is a revision of Strategic Business Leader for the exam period of March-June 2021, and this is question 3, Cost Offerings. The subject, from a consultant to chief executive. Okay. This report assessed NCCP current cost offerings and evaluates the proposal to launch ad courses. Current cost offerings. The overall number of NCCP course bookings has risen for the past 2 years, up 7.4% in 20X5. This suggests that NCCP is being effective in attracting people to its courses. But to validate this suggestion, it would be necessary to identify the overall size of the market and the NCCP's relative share. This overall increase marks issues at cost level. The Computers for Beginners course has been running unchanged for 20 years and saw a 21% fall in bookings. In 2025, considering how much technology and IT literacy have changed in 20 years, this course is almost certainly obsolete. The dramatic growth of web design cost up 15% in 20X5 indicates that the demand is high for IT courses, which are relevant to the modern business environment. This course now represents 61% of all courses run by NCCP. This creates an opportunity which NCCP could take advantage of. The new business skills course has been offered under the funding condition imposed by Civil Council. NCCP appears to have had no choice in this decision, as their funding was conditional on this running. Attendance have been very low and heavily subsidized. Low attendance may be due to a lack of promotion by NCCP, but it is more likely to be driven by the lack of participants in North Civil who are self-employed or looking to start their own business. The finding a job cost has remained relatively stable, representing 31% of NCCP booking in 20X5, as this course is running by volunteers. It generates a positive contribution to NCCP. There is no evidence that any market research has been undertaken. Courses appear to operate because they always have in the past computer or beginners, because of funding or obligations, business skills, or because volunteers exist to run them, finding a job. However, demand for relevant courses is high. Web design. So NCCP should undertake market research to understand what courses would be most popular. Ad courses. Financial factors. All calculations are contained in Appendix 1. The ad cost requires an upfront investment of $20,000, which includes the design fee and purchasing the various materials and books. This represents 42% of NCCP's cash reserves, which is a significant piece of expenditure, which would have implications for other initiatives. It will take 12 courses 12 months at the expected capacity to pay back the initial cost design investment. However, if demand for a single course falls behind 9 participants, that course will run at a loss. Given the upfront investment required, it is crucial that market research is carried out to validate expected attendance figures before any financial commitment is made. Otherwise, there is a risk that the investment could generate a loss. Finally, there is a suggestion in the newspaper article that the Council may cut NCCP's funding if its agenda is not consistent with the Council priorities. If there is a conflict between the two, it is crucial for NCCB's long-term financial stability that the Council's criteria are given priority. Non-financial factors. Although it is difficult to envisage any work-related applications of this course, the social aspects mean that it is consistent with NCCP mission. However, the course supports combined with a reference to wealthy individuals and premium courses suggest that it is may not be consistent with Richard Tempest's vision to support those in the community who have been neglected. Undertaking this course at the busiest time the weekend create a risk that other courses may not be able to run. It would be important to consider any lost opportunities from both financial and non-financial perspectives. A specific tutor has been selected for this work and a fee should agree for the course design. Care needs to be taken whenever work is commissioned from friends, and it would therefore be appropriate to encourage a number of people to submit tenders for the work, which should then be judged by a neutral panel. Retaining the copyright of this course could be a source of competitive advantage. However, clear contract will need to be agreed with the presenter, including the number of courses to be run and the dates. This will become more difficult in the second years, as fees, availability, and number of courses may need to be reviewed in the light of demand. Overall, this course is only expected to be delivered to 240 people in the first year. This represents just 1.3% of booking received in 2025 and is smaller than any other course. It should be questioned whether the time and money which would need to be invested in this course could be used more effectively elsewhere. The Civil Eco article has reported complaints from locals about the high price of new courses. This position is reinforced by the staff survey, which describe how existing participants are deterred from coming to NCCP. This new course will act as a further provocation to those who are concerned about whether NCCP is losing sight of the people it was set up to help. This unrest is particularly relevant to staff. The latest survey demonstrates the dramatic fall in levels of happiness and the trust in the executive board. The numbers of staff and volunteers who definitely expect to be working at NCCP in 1 year's time has fallen from 80% to 45%. It could be argued that some turnover of staff and volunteers is important to bring in fresh ideas, and 18% leaving over a year could be managed. However, there is a risk that the new courses will provoke further unrest and NCCP may find it difficult to replace volunteers they leave. Appendix 1, we have payback. $12,000 design fee divide $1,040 profit per cost equal to 11.5 rather to 12 courses. Initial cash investment $12,000 design cost at 25 artist material dollar at $8 book of total times 20 participants and times 12 courses equal to $19,920. Break-even point for cost 800 fixed cost divide 125 subtract 25, subtract $8 contribution per booking equal to 8.7 routed to 9 participants.